Okay, that's gonna do it for this park, man. It is way too windy. Woo! And it's like 45 degrees too. Ugh. Floridians, we don't do this. Getting out of here. Between the wind and what happens at Berkshire later, I definitely got the feeling Nebraska didn't want me here. But hey everybody, welcome to the channel. And before we get to where I got kicked out from Berkshire Hathaway, let's explore a little of the city of Omaha. Okay, hey everybody, it's Steve. I'm coming to you from our first stop in Nebraska, which is going to be the namesake of Peyton Manning's favorite audible, Omaha, Nebraska. I also think it's maybe like the nation's insurance capital, something like that. Distance there you can see the Woodman life insurance building or whatever. Anyway, so we're down here at I guess Leahy Mall, something like that, and trying to get a good view of the riverfront, so we'll see what we can find. But anyways, Omaha, Nebraska, let's go, let's check it out. We're getting things started here at the western end of the Leahy Mall, which was named after a former mayor of the city. Hey, this is pretty cool. They got fire pits out here for when it's cold. Yeah, so a couple things. I had to pay for street parking, so I'm not very happy about that. I mean, it's just $1. But when you get in the Great Plains, man, when the wind starts up, it don't stop, man. It's crazy. It was like, you know, shaking the van and all that while I was driving over here. Anyways, let's keep going through this mall here. Omaha is the largest city in Nebraska, and I thought Leahy Mall here was a great example of something a community can do to promote tourism, and that primarily involves having interesting sculptures and landmarks that also make good selfie spots. There's an outdoor auditorium where they have some concerts. The arch here is known as Solo, and I believe it was preserved from an old department store. Pretty interesting fountain there. You can see the van hiding behind the bushes there in the back. Man, I hope it's warmer in Lincoln, man. That sucks. All the lawsuits that are out there in the world, and with so many insurance companies in Omaha, I can't believe this walkway here was open to the public, but this here is a pretty neat section of the mall also. We're going to try to get set up for a shot of the Omaha skyline. The head sculpture here is by artist Gene Leahy, and I'm not quite sure if it really has a name. That crane right there is killing me, man. You can't get a good photo from here. This is where the good photos are taken. Okay, that's gonna do it for this park, man. It is way too windy. Woo! And it's like 45 degrees too. Ugh. Floridians, we don't do this. Getting out of here. Okay, next up, man, this wind is crazy, man. Next up we got, I think it's called Kenefick Park, and they got two big trains, and so let's climb up this bunch of stairs here and check out the trains. Omaha is also the headquarters of Union Pacific Railroad, and so it's fitting that there would be a train exhibit somewhere. As we make our way to the main attraction, there is this cool relief here along the sidewalk that goes over the history of railroads.
To the right is a Centennial, and to the left is a Big Boy. These are two very large locomotives, and let's go take a closer look at them. It's very symbolic that both locomotives look over I-80, and the Centennial here, this model is the largest diesel locomotive ever produced. The Centennial was so named because it was delivered in 1969, which marked the 100th anniversary of the completion of the first transcontinental railroad in the United States. The Centennials delivered over 6,600 horsepower, weighed in excess of 500,000 pounds, and could reach speeds approaching 90 miles an hour, but they were retired in the mid-80s due to high operating costs. Moving over to the Big Boy, this particular Big Boy was a second generation. It was built in 1944, and these models are the largest steam locomotives ever built, weighing in at nearly 1.2 million pounds. They generated over 6,000 horsepower and were capable of reaching speeds of up to 80 miles an hour. Now, thinking back to our last video in Iowa, I'd like to see Jesse James try to derail this one here. Maybe best of all, you can see these trains and visit Kenefick Park completely free. I really appreciate that the city of Omaha has this available. Okay, that's going to do it for those two large locomotives. I think the one over there to the left, I think that's like the largest one ever built or something. So anyways, now let's go see if we can drop by Berkshire Hathaway corporate headquarters and see if, you know, we can get some stock advice from Warren Buffett. Who knows? Right next door is a conservatory and botanical garden, but we're going to have to keep it moving. I should also mention that the #1 attraction in the city of Omaha is the Dorley Zoo, and it's a world-class zoo, but in a few videos from now, we'll see why I had to keep a schedule, and I just was not able to make time for the zoo on this day. Now let's mosey over to Berkshire Hathaway, and let's find out what we can get into. Okay, according to Google Maps, that's Berkshire Hathaway's corporate headquarters. I guess Warren Buffett has an office there. Let's see if it's open to the public. Okay, so Berkshire Hathaway not open to visitors, even though I just saw two young kids just walk right in there. Maybe their parents work there or something. Anyways, the guy wouldn't even let me take any pictures, and that's cool. You know, he's got a job to do. Anyways, so that's going to wrap it up for Omaha, Nebraska, and I'm going to move on to Lincoln and check out the state capitol. All right, let's get back to the van. Now, no, I didn't expect to be able to meet Warren Buffett or anything, but I figured for $1 trillion corporation, they would at least have a sign or something that I could take a picture of. Even Meta has a sign for tourists. We're going to now make a short drive over to Lincoln, and we're going to check out the state capitol building. Hopefully on another trip, I'll have more time to fully explore the city of Omaha. For our only stop in Lincoln, we're here at the Nebraska State Capitol at 400 feet tall. It is the second tallest capitol building in the United States. If you know which state has the tallest capitol building, let me know in the comments below. This Capitol building is made out of Indiana limestone, and there are sculptures of famous scholars such as Socrates and Abraham Lincoln. This building was the first skyscraper capitol, and this design was chosen to contrast the flat plains that are throughout the state. The 19-foot bronze statue on top of the building is just a common man known as the sower, and he is planting or sowing the seeds of life, so to speak. Now we're gonna have to rush straight to the top. I stopped here on a Friday afternoon and I'd have to wait through the entire weekend until Monday to be able to do a proper tour. I was able to take some pictures, however, of the interior, and those are available on my Instagram if you want to give me a follow over there and check those out. But after the disappointment at Berkshire, it was nice to end the day with this win.
Okay, so raced up to the top of the Nebraska state capitol. Is there, can you walk to that door? I'm not sure. Anyways, here's the view. That's all right. Whew, I was able to get in and out of there in about 5 minutes, go to the observation deck. All that, I mean, I wish I had more time for a tour. I mean, I could overnight and do it tomorrow, but I think it's better to move along and go see some other stuff. But here's the thing I noticed. So here's the Capitol. Okay. And here's the governor's mansion. Capitol. Governor's mansion. So I wonder if the governor, I wonder if he just like walks to his office in the morning. I don't know, this has got to be like the closest governor's mansion I've ever seen. And it's pretty interesting because it's kind of like a, you know, a town square. So like all the government buildings are like all around. So it's a pretty good layout. Anyways, so I'm going to go hop in the van and decide if I'm going to boondock here or not. And but before we move on, if you're enjoying this content, I'd appreciate it so much if you please give me a like. Please consider subscribing if you want to see more episodes, and make sure to turn on the bell for notifications. Okay, so now we're gonna go boondock for the night, and it'll either be here or I'll go down to the rest stop or something, and we'll look at a little bit more of Nebraska tomorrow morning. I'll see you then.